So we see in our first reading today, when the serpent tempted Adam and Eve, and there was a joke that I saw before that if Adam and Eve were Chinese, the fall will never happen. Because when the serpent would come, Adam would pick up the serpent, chop it into small pieces, and then stir fry it, and then eat the serpent. I work in China for 5 years, and I've eaten snake there. Okay, so it's really true. We all need to have a good laugh. So it says here that the serpent was more crafty than any other wild animal. And I've heard from 12-step group that they would say that, the enemy, of course, Satan, is cunning, baffling, powerful, and very patient. Okay? And he knows when he would come and tempt us. And his temptation is always by planting seed of doubt. Okay? We see here in our first reading today, he just asked a question. Did God really say you should not eat from any tree in the garden? And of course, it's not true, right? And Eve says, no, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, nor shall you touch it, or you shall die. And then the serpent says, you will not die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So you see here how the enemy, Satan, planted a seed of doubt. What's that doubt? Doubt that God truly loves you. Okay? God, here it says, God is depriving you of something that is really very, very good for you. So planting that seed. And then what happened there is that Eve saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food. And it was a delight to the eyes, so she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her and ate. So that was the problem. Because of the doubt, they disobeyed. They committed the original sin. Okay? And we see here, they sensed that the God is coming, and then they hid. Again, it's a lack of trust, right? Lack of trust in the love and the mercy of God. And I'm sure all of us would experience this, right? It's always because of a lack of trust. That's why we disobeyed. A lack of trust in His love, a lack of trust in His providence, a lack of trust in His mercy. Okay? And ever since from Adam and Eve, even to at this present time, the problem is a lack of trust. That's why we are in the school of trust. We need to trust the Lord every day. Okay? Whenever we're experiencing fear, anxiety, doubts, all of those are because we don't trust God. Okay? That's why for us, we need to get to know God. Not just head knowledge, but in a very personal way. So that when we know Him, we would trust Him. And when we would trust Him, we would obey Him. That's what we need to do every day. One day at a time, until we die. Get to know God, trust Him, obey Him. Okay? And today, I was reflecting on this scripture, first reading, and I was writing on my journal, Lord, where are the areas in my life where I still do not trust You? So I wrote down, maybe for you could relate, right? Maybe for us, whenever we turn to, watching too much TV, movies, or sports, maybe it's a lack of trust. Maybe we're thinking that these things would make us happy, to alleviate the boredom in our life. That's a lack of trust. Whenever we're tempted to sin, thinking that the pleasure that this sin will give us will make us happy. Again, it's a lack of trust that it's only in God that we will be fully happy. Whenever we're turning to unnecessary food, binging, thinking that turning to these unnecessary food is a source of comfort for us. Again, it's a lack of trust. Okay? So I ask that, today, write down in your journal, what are the areas in your life that you are still not trusting the Lord? Okay? That is making you commit sin or making you attach to things that you are putting these things over God. Okay? So again, as long as we live, we are in the school of trust. Day in and day out, we need to get to know God, trust in Him, and then obey Him.